So most people think that confidence is something that you're born with, and that's complete BS. Confidence isn't genetic. It's something that you build over time through action. And the irony of it is that you don't take action because you have the confidence. You have confidence because you take action. You act in the face of fear. Doing something when you don't feel like doing it because of the fear of what might happen, but doing it anyway, that's how you build confidence. I've seen it said men today, like Gen Z kids that are becoming men, have the least amount of confidence of any generation before. And I can understand why that would be the case because I'm a millennial. I had very basic internet up until about grade 10, 11, 12. And then we got something called MSN Messenger. And that was the closest thing to social media. I guess you could argue MySpace as well. But even then, nobody compared themselves to anybody else based on what was accessible via social media. Don't get me wrong, we all compared ourselves to others, but all of those others existed within our immediate sphere, within our school. Basically, not even other schools, just our school. That was the only place that we had any comparison to go off of. Being an adolescent, of course, we had challenges with confidence, but it wasn't exacerbated by social media. So I can't imagine what kids are going through today. And that leads me to an unfortunate reality, which is because there is such a massive group of young men lacking confidence, there has been a movement to capitalize on this lack of confidence by selling courses or supplements or programs by what I can really only classify as fake gurus, fake alphas. I'm not going to name names, but I think you guys all know who I'm talking about.
I'm going to tell you this, my entire company, my entire team, if you don't have a six-pack, you don't work for us.
I'll take this fucking knife off my fucking waist and carve this fucking tattoo off my fucking hand before I let any of you fucking changes.
God damn it.
You're still whining. Stop whining.
That
You're
is
just
a
making
product.
an argument.
I'll smack your fat ass.
So you're going to attack
Straight
me?
up. All right.
Hey, what's going on? What's your name? Nah, fucking loser.
I mean, there are entire channels dedicated to exposing these guys, but that doesn't prevent them from being predatory on this whole demographic of young men who are lacking confidence. So that's what I want to help you with today. The fake alpha mindset, the alpha male guru, is confidence comes through dominance. Confidence comes through external validation, and that is wildly incorrect. Usually these alpha guys are roided to the gills and they have a really loud, booming way of speaking. If you've ever seen any of these people interact with anybody outside of their Instagram or their YouTube channel, usually they try to crush the conversation just by speaking over them. That's their version of confidence, is confidence through dominance, dominating others. True confidence, confidence that you can rely on, doesn't require you to take the confidence from other people. In fact, it's the opposite. People who are actually bastions of confidence, who we should look up to, typically they're leaders, good leaders, and a great quote, leaders eat last, meaning that leaders put the people that they lead before them. They lift the people up who they're leading in the first place. True confidence comes from a person who navigates life that way rather than crushing people, stepping on people the way that these gurus do, these fake alpha gurus. Confidence also doesn't come from looks. It doesn't come from a bank account, and it doesn't come from external validation. Those things can help you feel confident, but they will only help you feel confident in the moment. So if someone compliments on your looks, that's great. Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice thing to hear. But is that going to help you stay confident tomorrow or next week or next month or next year? No, it's absolutely not. It's fleeting. Same with status. I mean, your status could be stripped from you at any time, especially today. I mean, if you look online right now, the absolute bloodbath that is the job market, everybody's getting laid off. And I don't mean just low-level people. People at the top as well are getting laid off. So if your confidence comes from the role that you play in a company, from your status, that is something that somebody else can take from you at any time. External validation or approval from others is also not a good, reliable source for instilling or building your confidence. If you rely on the approval or the validation from others to build your confidence, then when you don't get that, or even worse, when someone invalidates you or takes you down a peg, your confidence is going to be crushed. So if confidence comes from action, what sort of action, and how can you take those actions today to start building your own confidence? A lot of guys deal with this problem of waiting to feel confident before taking the action. I really want to ask that girl out, but I don't feel confident in my body yet, so I'm going to go to the gym for the next 3 to 4 months and just crush it, and then I'll have the confidence in my body to go ask her out. Well, first of all, if you wait that long, somebody else is going to ask her out. The second thing is you're still not going to feel confident. If your body is preventing you from doing these things and you think that going to the gym for the next 4 months is going to solve that, well, the confidence that you don't have right now, you're probably going to have even less in 4 months if you're comparing yourself to all the people in the gym and all the things that you don't have yet because you can't bench a certain amount of weight, or you don't have arms this size, or whatever it is. Action is what instills confidence. It's what builds confidence. The problem about action is that you think about it too much. That's the whole reason that you don't take action in the first place. So if there's something that you want to do, I'll use that example again of asking a girl out. What typically happens is you see the girl and you think, oh, I want to go ask that girl out. And then as soon as you have that thought, you think of all of the spiraling chaos that's going to happen as soon as you go up to that girl, not even ask her out, just even in the approach, she's going to look at you and think you're weird even before you have a chance to say something. You think about, I'm dressed like a schlub, or I'm not tall enough, or, I've got a little bit of a punch, or whatever it is. All of these things start to spin in your internal dialogue, and before you even have a chance to go up and ask a girl, you've completely talked yourself out of going up to that girl and asking her out because, well, you're just not ready. You don't have what it takes to go ask her out, but you will. You just have to work on yourself a little bit. Of course, there's nothing wrong with working on yourself and wanting to be a better version of yourself, but you have to realize that right now, as you are in this moment, you are good enough for pretty much everything that you want to achieve. Radical self-acceptance is how I was taught to think about this. You can definitely have aspirations. You should want more for yourself. You should want to improve. You should want to train your body. You should want a better job. You should want a better access in life, all of these things. But that shouldn't prevent you from accepting yourself as who you are right now so that you can take the action with the things that you want to do right now. Every time you don't take action, you reinforce self-doubt. It's like you're writing another sentence in a story that you tell yourself about yourself. And 9 times out of 10, these spiraling thoughts of negativity, of the what ifs, when you think about something that you want to do, but you prevent yourself from doing it, you prevent yourself from taking action out of fear, 9 times out of 10, everything that you're thinking of is wildly blown out of proportion. That acronym for fear, false expectations appearing real, is pretty on point. If you just did the thing, you would realize how easy it is. And even if you failed, even if you walked up to that girl and you asked her out and she shut you down, I guarantee you that the rejection would be way less painful than the pain that you're going to endure over the next 2-3 months thinking, oh man, I wish I was good enough to go ask her out, or I wish I was good enough to go do this thing, or I wish I was good enough to, whatever, to insert thing here. The pain that you draw out over those next 3 months is massively more impactful in your life and in your own sense of self-worth than 2 seconds of getting over your little fear of asking somebody out or whatever it is and experiencing the rejection. And the other thing is that you might not experience that rejection at all. You also give yourself the opportunity to succeed. Every time you get over that fear of taking action, you give yourself the opportunity to succeed. So the good news is you have a lot of opportunities to practice this, because every single day things come up into our path that offers us fear of taking action. Fear of doing something that we want to do, but we're prevented from doing because of all of the stories that we tell ourselves of how it could go wrong. My advice to you would be to start every day with the intention of looking for those opportunities and choosing at least one to take that leap of faith, to take action without thinking about it. Just do the thing. Right? Look for an opportunity to do the thing. It's important to take imperfect action, because when you take imperfect action, meaning that you don't have everything figured out, you're just going to do what you can with what you know, what you're capable of in the moment. You'll get feedback on how that worked, and then you can take a better action in the future when a similar opportunity arises. One of the things that holds guys back, especially from taking personal accountability, is this idea of perfectionism. Like we have to be perfect at everything, or the things that we're trying to do, we have to be perfect at them before we can even try. But think about how crazy that is. Like, how can you be perfect at something if you're not practicing that very thing in the first place? That's how people get better at anything. So if you're waiting to be perfect before you do the thing, you're never going to do it. That's just the reality of the situation. Go out into the world today and look for opportunities, listen for opportunities where there's something that you want to do, someone that you want to speak to, some way you want to be, but you feel like not taking action with it because of fear, and then just push past it anyway. Don't even think about it. Just turn your brain off and do the thing. And if you do that often enough, what you'll come to realize is that 9 times out of 10, even if things blow up in your face, it's inconsequential. It's such a small blip on all the other things that happen in the day that you'll realize, oh, you know what? Every time I take action with these things that I fear, it either works out, or when they don't work out, it doesn't even matter. And I learn from it anyways. So, it was worthwhile no matter what. In the description for this video, I should have a little worksheet on how to identify things that you're currently preventing yourself from doing because of fear, and how you can start to formulate a strategy for taking that action when you're afforded the opportunity to do so. I would love to hear what your experience with this stuff is. Do you just do the thing anyway? Maybe you're somebody who doesn't lack confidence. But if you have struggled with this in the past, I want to know how you feel now based on what we talked about here today. If you've gone through the exercise, even better. I'd love for you to come back to this video and give me some feedback on how that went for you and any insights that you have. And leaving your comments also helps other people that might be watching this video. So I appreciate you spending some time with me today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I love reading your comments. Makes my day. And I'll see you in the next video.